I knew early on in my life who I was, I probably wouldn't have made a whole lot of decisions that I made. And I strongly would say it's okay to be you. Um, and it's okay to make mistakes. It's okay to fall.
It's the guys on the street, but the topic is heat. CG Law give them truth, and Coach I give them facts. And Coach Gray know he ain't even gon' play. Got new action today, a new season today. About to start a new way. Send requests, we gon' chat about your sport. Send requests, we can talk about more. Got just what you want, come take a tour. Got just what you want, come take a tour. We don't guys on the street. We don't guys on the street. We don't guys that's gon' eat.
All right, welcome into another episode of Guys Down the Streets. A special episode today. We want to focus on some mental health and how it impacts, or how substance abuse may impact mental health. It's just a conversation that I think we have little, not too often in the black community. So I want to bring in my special guest here. My special guest, I know him personally. We work together, but also he's a man of faith. He's a Christian hip hop artist, Stellar Award nominee, shout out, and entrepreneur, founder and CEO of his own clothing line, Rock Bottom, where what they believe is motivation starts here, nowhere to go but up. And also, last but not least, my son's favorite rapper, Mr. Mr. Reggie Rocc. What's going on, Reggie?
What up? What up? What up? What up?
I'm
man?
telling you, man, that dude, boy, hey, you got you a number one fan over here, boy. That dude asks about you all the time, bro.
Oh my God. Yeah, let's go. Tell him let's go.
Yeah, I gave him, hey, you know, the black rock bottom hat I told you, I ended up giving it to him today. He was super excited. Well, man, I brought you in here, man. I know a little bit about your story, man. But I wanted to bring you in here because you've been through some things in your life that has formed and shaped who you are today. And I think a lot of us, especially as black men, go through, a lot of things that we don't even think about as mental health, because I think in the black community, when we say mental health, people automatically think mental illness, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
But mental health is a lot more than just whether you sick or not. You know what I'm saying? Mental health is might have anxiety, you might have depression, it might be under too much stress, you know what I'm saying? And that can affect your physical health as well. So just tell a little bit about your story, man, how you got started. I mean, take me back, you know what I'm saying?
Oh man, take you back.
Yeah, Lord. Man, take me back to high school, Reggie Rocc. You know what I'm saying? How you started down this path and things that happened in your life, man.
Well, I mean, as far as high school, that's actually when I really began pursuing music as a career. You know how you used to, freestyle in the little ciphers at the lunch tables.
Yeah,
and
somebody doing
that.
a little beat with the hand.
Right. And I don't know. Some of my closest friends, man, they were like, "Man, you know what? You're actually pretty good." You know what I'm saying? I'm like, "Oh, you think so?" You know what I'm saying? So it wasn't like a super confident type of thing.
Just something you was doing because the fellas was doing it.
Right. And I've always been a fan of music. Because I could relate to it, like the Pox, the Biggies, some of the things that Jay-Z would say, or some of the old hip hop artists. And it was an escape for me. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Listening to music was an escape. And so I used to jot down, like, it would be like poetry though. It wasn't in song format. I ain't know how to write no song, you know what I'm saying? But but I knew how to jot down my emotions and my feelings.
I got you.
Because that's what I used to do before it. Like, I wasn't thinking about trying to come up with a hook or nothing like that. I was just writing out how I was feeling all the time, because You know, was raised in a single parent. I was raised in a single parent home.
Yeah.
1990, my whole family went to jail. You know, from my grandmother, my grandfather, my aunts, and my uncles, and things like that. And later on down the line, my dad actually went and did 12 years himself. So,
And
you
this is
know, me
this
and
is
my
all like while you was in high school, really, growing up.
they were actually still in jail at the time.
Oh,
You know
okay.
what I'm saying?
Yeah, I got you.
Yeah. So I found myself dealing with a lot of depression, and I had a lot of questions. You know what I'm saying?
So,
And
not that I don't want to cut you off, but just with that, with the depression, did you initially know it was depression, or did you just think
no,
I'm
no,
sad, I'm sad a lot? You know what I'm saying?
yeah. It was more so just like just being sad because I don't know why why my mom and I we having to move from place to place, and
Yeah,
my mom went through a physical abusive relationship. Um, I'm trying to figure out why we're struggling and why these things happen to me. You know what I'm saying?
I got you.
Um, I started working at an early age, man. I started working at the age of 14. You know what
Wow.
I'm
Wow.
saying? Like a real, like under the table, and then like all the way until I graduated. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so I just had a whole lot of questions, man. And music would be my escape, though.
I
You know
got
what I'm
you.
saying? I would just jot down my feelings, jot down my emotions, and things that I went through, things that I'm experiencing, things that I want. You know what I mean? You know how rappers normally do. We talk about, I want the big crib and you know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Big car, the
But
nice car. You know what I'm
right,
saying?
right. And I used to just, it was one freestyle that I had, man, um, that I wrote down, and it was called Reminisce.
Okay.
And I wrote that like 14 years ago now, probably around 14 years ago.
Wow.
So it was like, so do you want a Benz or a Beamer? Question is, though, which gonna give me freedom? Neither. So I get away in class. 745 can't even afford gas. I guess I'm not a baller, and I wish I was a little bit taller. I share I shared a room with my brother and my cousin. 400 degrees warmed us up with the oven, but
Mm,
they ain't no lie. Not every night, cause the bill was too high to keep it on. So I would put my headphones on to forget about the cold while Biggie spit flows. Yeah, I'd be in another place. Well, my mom would smile and the rent was never late. Nothing ever do cause everything paid. My mama didn't clean cause my mama had a maid. Me and my Brett with a fresh pair of J's. Lil sis rocking everything that's made. Music, that's what kind of dreams it gave. So I had to listen to it every single day. So throw up the deuces, cause the money looked funny that my mama bought food with.
mm,
She made no excuses. She only said, God gonna help us get through this. I had faith, so I already knew this. While waiting at the bus stop, you can hear the gunshots, followed by a brawl in the street. Shout my homeboy, rest in peace. There's no peace for a
mm.
project kid. If it's bad while I'm small, I don't want to get big. Reggie Rocc, a state match, and I wonder why Santa had on a starter jacket. I
Wow.
wore glasses, blackberry molasses. Feels like things have never changed, but I hope I'm wrong so I can move on. I don't ever want to feel this way again, for real.
Mm. That's
So that
okay.
was like, so
That
that,
was before you was a Christian hip hop. That was just
yeah,
you was at
way,
that
yeah.
point you was just you was a rapper. You know what I'm saying? And
Mhm.
and you didn't even know you had no hopes or dreams like, oh yeah, I'm gonna be a Christian rapper. You was like,
Oh
okay, I'm gonna
no,
do this rap thing. And so where did
right.
that go? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like you got signed with the label. At
Yep.
what age was you
The
when
label,
you signed with the label?
18,
Okay.
18 actually.
Okay.
So I think I got signed around 2001, something like that. I think like 2001.
Okay.
So I was in school, man, signed to a label, and
That's a
in the
lot of pressure.
classes. Huh?
That's a lot of pressure on an 18-year-old.
Right. And so the teachers used to let all the students in the class go to the website, the Bay Fan website, where they had my pictures, it had my music. It just like this. Our classmate assigned to a real label. You know what I'm saying? And so it was just really dope. They put it in the yearbook. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And just um, it was like, wow, like this is. I guess this is really happening. You know what I'm saying? And got signed in 2001. I released like 2 albums with the label. My first initial name was Spoken though.
Okay.
Yeah, Spokken.
It's always gotta
Yeah,
be. It's always gotta be different.
right, right. So that was my first name, man. During the first album that I released, the actual album was called Lyrical High.
Yeah.
You can actually look that up like right now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like right now, you can go look that up
Well,
and put on.
I seen a couple of the old videos.
Right. Oh Lord. Yeah. but
Oh.
but you want to know something? I didn't even get to do any videos. We didn't even shoot any videos with the label. I didn't even get to the point of shooting a video.
Okay.
I couldn't understand that. You know what I mean? I was like, okay, why we ain't shoot videos? You know what I mean? But we was just releasing music, different content, and it was different back then, though, man. You really needed the
You
DJs at
did.
the time. You
Mm-hmm.
really needed the DJs. You really needed
The
the radio
radio.
stations.
Mm-hmm.
You needed all of that. You needed airplay. Like, I mean, you had to have like ads and go pay the radio station to play certain. You know what I mean? Like,
Mm-hmm.
it was just way different than what it is now. Now, the only thing you got to do is upload something to your Facebook or to your own page, or you know what I
Yeah,
mean?
for real, for real.
Yeah.
And,
So that really killed the labels. Like,
and see, at 18, you had already been kind of on a mental roller coaster. So going into high school, you was already without the main core of your family.
right.
Dealing with that, and then you figure out you want to do a little rapping. You say, okay, well, I am good at this. Let me try to do this, and then you sign. So you go from like a low in your personal life to a high kind of, you know what I'm saying, by signing with the label. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
I say like little things like that. Like I don't think long term. I think you have, but I don't think a lot of people think about that. Like how often we on a mental roller coaster. You know what I mean? And then we dealing with so much in our life, and then we be wondering why it come out when we like 35. You know what I mean?
Because I was thinking, you never really deal with it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You just keep on going and just pursue. Don't stop, don't stop, don't stop. You know what I'm saying? And you don't.
Yeah.
But what I did, I can speak personally. Like, I never dealt with those why questions I had. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? The whys in my life, I never addressed them at all. You know what I'm saying? I just kept on going. And then when I got older, and it, like you said, just started coming out, I'm like, hey, what is wrong with me? You know what I mean?
Why am I always mad?
Right? Why?
I mean, I think that
You know
happens
what
a
I'm
lot, not just like, with you going from, like I say, your family situation and then, signing to a label, but you think like somebody going from a single parent home, and a lot of us in the hood, we get that scholarship to the big college, whether we playing ball
saying?
or we go to college or leave home and now we out on our own. And it's like, okay,
Hmm.
but a lot of us, like you said, you started working at 14. Now you had to
Hmm.
be a man before you should have been a man. You wasn't even mature mentally all the way. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah, nah, yeah. I didn't even get to go to like the pep rallies, the football games. I think I played football in junior high.
yeah,
After that, I didn't even have time to pursue any of those other things that I actually liked to do. You know what I mean?
yeah.
So I didn't get to do any of that. You know what I'm
So
saying?
you was on the label and you was a secular artist. Let's just say that.
Yeah.
How'd you go from there to becoming from spoken with the 2Ks to becoming Reggie Rocc, a Christian hip
All
hop
right.
artist?
Oh, Well, Reggie Rock wasn't a Christian hip hop artist either, though. You know what I'm saying? At the first initial name change, we came out with the second album called Beyond the Surface, and so I talked about a whole lot of those issues with my family, um, and certain things like that in the album, and then you would have to. We tried to have a formula, you know what I mean? Like we was listening to like Timberland, the Missy records, the who else were we listening to? Fabulous, and you know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? Like I remember just listening. We were listening to tracks sometimes, and we say, okay, we need to do something like that. Oh, okay, we need a party record, you know what I
I
mean?
got
Or
you.
you remember back then, that's how you would.
If you ain't
You
had no
had to have
party
some
record,
type.
you ain't getting on the radio.
You ain't getting nothing. And so and then after the album, we had some good success with that. As far as like international, I think, yeah, international. So after that, I kind of didn't understand what I was doing because, like I said, we weren't shooting any videos. I just felt like I was at a standstill,
Okay.
you know. And so I started drinking at the age of 21,
Okay.
but it wasn't anything like heavy. It was just like wine coolers and stuff like
Yeah.
that. You know what I'm
It
saying?
always starts
And
off.
so,
It always
yeah, yeah,
starts
yeah.
off.
Yeah, it starts off. And I after I started drinking, I see how it would change my mood. And so as I'm drinking more, um, what I wanted to talk about changed as well. Cause not any of my I wasn't a gospel artist, but none of my music had any cussing in it. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? and so I'm thinking I have arrived now, so I can start. It's time to start cussing in my music. You know what I'm saying? And so started talking about that women, you know, certain sexual things, and I feel like I can do that now. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And because the label, we were at a standstill, so I just kind of started drifting and trying to do my own thing, but I was under contract. You know what
You
I'm
can
saying?
only do so
So
much.
I could only do so much. And so I got with some guys who were from New York, and I seen how they were, and I liked it. I liked that lifestyle. I was attracted to it. I felt like I had freedom. You know what I'm saying? And I pursued it strongly until and the guy who he bought me out of my contract.
What one of the guys
Because
from New York?
yeah,
Okay.
and I had the label. They didn't want to, at that time, but so he bought me out of it, and so I just pursued and start rocking with them, man, and start living pretty hard. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, I'm glad we can laugh about it now. I mean, I'm just saying, but
Right,
it's
right,
it's it's
right.
some people may be still going through that. Who knows what artist is going through that currently? But that's a lot. I mean, because at that time you was drinking in your mind just because that's the life you wanted to live. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like
just
partying.
because it was like, yeah, just like I'm gonna drink.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, and when you don't really get to experience anything when you were young, I think all of those things start coming out when you're older at the wrong time. You know what I
Oh,
mean?
for sure, for sure.
Yeah, at the
whether
wrong
you
time.
drifting on the road because you driving drunk, or you at somebody passed out at somebody's house and you wake up and you don't know where you
Right,
at. I mean,
right,
we've all, had those kind of experiences. I mean, I had a time, and I think that's when in college, it's I don't know. I think through those 18 to 25 years, it's like you just out there and you think you invincible. So you
right.
think you can drink as much as you want, and then the next day you just sleep it off. Wake up, maybe you have a headache, maybe you don't. I don't know. You know, it's like
Right.
because one time in college, I remember we had a. I was at working an internship. We had a party for the interns, and at the time, I'm trying to think, I had just turned 21, so we was
Mhm.
drinking. I was so drunk, I drove back to where I was staying. You know, it was at least 30 minutes away. In Atlanta,
Right.
6 lanes, bruh. I was in the fast lane. I nodded off. Within 10 seconds, I was in the slow lane. I really don't remember. And it was
Right.
what is it, 18 wheeler that was coming up. It passed me just as I was getting over into the slow lane, and I was just like, I just pulled
Wow.
over on the side, and I was like, I could have been hit by that car just like that.
Right. Right.
But the thing is, like mentally, we still think we invincible, right?
Right.
Cause you
Right.
go out and do it again. Near,
Right.
near death
And
experience.
my and I've had more than I can count. And like my 20s was like a blur to me, man. You know what I'm saying? Like it was like a my 20s were like a blur, like a God, like wow. Like I'm thinking about it now, like I wasted so much time.
Yeah.
I wasted a lot of time. A lot of time. Um but during those experiences, man, like being with the guys from New York, man, I was able to meet um some people, some hip hop artists who, laid the foundation for some things, and being around them, I was able to see, what how that actual life is. You know what I mean? Like to, grind to what it really was. You know what I'm saying? Nobody is really just saying they sitting on top of the world, even if they talking about it. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And so I got a chance to see that, but it just seemed like it wasn't real to me. So I just drifted furthermore into the bottle, and I kind of stopped caring about music for a while. You know what I'm saying? I just really stopped
You
caring.
just was
But,
it was about partying and living life, and
yep,
that's
yep.
wild. It's like you got this record deal or at least this music career going for you. I think a lot of times in that, like that was kind of like a self sabotage. You just like, forget about the music. I'm just gonna live the life. So you got that. So
Right.
you got the clothing line and your business, your rock bottom. What I'm assuming from the name, what was rock bottom? I mean, you out here, you don't stop caring about life. I mean, not life, but stop caring about music anyway. And your action actually probably said you did stop caring about life, but in your
I really did though. I did though.
life for
Like,
real.
yeah, like I really stopped caring for real, like about life, about my responsibilities. My daughter was born in 2003.
Okay.
Um, I wasn't ready for that. You know what I'm saying? And I just really just stopped caring about everything. You know what I'm saying? And I wasn't being a responsible parent at all. You know what I mean? I sucked. The first 4 years, I sucked. And still learning now. You know what I mean? But my daughter's 18 now, so well, she'll be 18 this
Yeah.
year. But there was a lot that I just stopped caring about, man. And it's crazy now that I actually hit rock bottom, and I didn't know that that would be a clothing, because what rock bottom was at first, like me, when you used to be joking like with your partners, but me and my cousin, we was like, man, we're gonna have a label. It's called Rock Bottom. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? But we ain't have no slogan or nothing like that. You know what I'm saying? But we were saying, yeah, it's gonna be like called Rock Bottom. You know what I'm saying? And stuff like that. And dang, little did I know, 12 years after that, that it would actually be a clothing apparel. And we came up, me, and actually this guy named Glenn, one of my good friends from Massachusetts.
Hmm.
He because I was like rock bottom. Uh, Motivation starts right here, and from there you have nowhere to go but up. He was like, "Man, it sound like a lot of words." You know what I mean?
For real, it does. It does.
And so he was like, "Why don't you just say motivation starts here, nowhere to go but up?" I said,
All right.
"Yeah," and I can repeat that. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And so we did that, and then my wife, um, she had the idea. We were in the car, sitting in front of Walmart. I'll never forget. And she was like, "Why don't you talk about your struggles? And why don't you just call it rock bottom and let's do some shirts?" I was like, "Okay." And I had the slogan, and we hit up Charles McClurkin, and he's actually a graphic designer.
Okay.
And so we sent him that name, the idea, how to spell it, and no lie, probably like 2 hours later, man, 3 hours, something like that, he sent back that logo
Okay.
with the R and the B pointing up, and it had the motivation starts here at the bottom. It wasn't around.
Okay.
Yeah. So the motivation starts here was at the bottom of it. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? The old throwback shirts. Those were the first ones we did.
Okay.
And when I seen that, when he sent me that email, and I looked at him, that logo, I said, I would wear that on a shirt. I knew immediately that that was it.
Okay.
Like, no second thought. I said, that is it. And so we put it on a shirt. Got some shirts printed out, some black and white ones. I can't remember how many we had, but it was a whole lot of them. And sold one. I said, well, maybe that wasn't no good idea. You know, I'm like, well, what are we going to do with all these shirts?
You was hyped up when y'all had them printed out, though, right?
I said, boy, these things fly, boy, you know.
I'm about to be paid, baby.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
So one.
Oh my goodness. So let me ask you this. So you got this idea, you got your t-shirts printed up. This before you sold the one. You thought you was about to be doing it. You know what I'm saying? You got your slogan. At this point, had you already gave your life to God?
Yes.
Okay.
Because I didn't jump right back into music.
I got you.
Yeah, I didn't jump right back into music. I didn't know what to do actually. You know what I mean? But I know I didn't want to do music. You know what I'm saying? I just didn't have a passion. You know, I still loved it, but I didn't have a passion to do it. And I remember attending a men's breakfast. I mean, a men's prayer. We used to call it the locker room every Saturday.
I got you.
And we used to talk about, you know, each other's issues, our problems, just being a man, and you know, your testimony, you know, the things you're facing throughout that week. So JR, I never forget, he came up to me. He was like, "Why don't you you have been blessed to do music?" And he was like, "Why don't you talk about that?
Okay.
Talk about what you came from and how God was still right there with you." But the thing is, that whole entire year, I didn't do any music because I didn't feel just because I've given my life to God that I could talk about it in music, you know, because I ain't know nothing. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah. Because
Yeah.
if you did and honestly, probably if you had did a record before he suggested, it probably would have been talking about some of the old stuff. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Because I didn't know nothing. Like, I don't, you know, I just know I'm like, okay, supposed to do good now. You know what I mean? Like,
It's like, well, that's what we say. Well, you know, that's all you know until you learn. You know.
yeah, I guess I'm supposed to just do good now, I
Stop
guess.
cussing.
But yeah, stop cussing. Um, and so the first mixtape I did was called Change Agent.
Yep.
And so yeah, I did a lot of jacking for beats type of thing, and went in there and did some start writing to those. And then after that, that's when we started coming up with the shirts and stuff like that.
I got you.
Um, start coming up with the shirts, and it actually created another platform for me to, present those to the people. Like, I have my own shirts and I'm a rapper. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it created that platform. So that made it dope, and I think a little bit more easy because we started doing shows around locally, and we would take the shirts with us and stuff like that, and I just never gave up, man. Real talk, never gave up, even when I felt like it wasn't working. You know what I'm saying?
Man, that's but see that's and then through all of that, it sounds like you had a lot of mental toughness. You know what I'm saying? Because you've been at this point in your life, you done been through a lot. You done had the family
Yeah,
situation.
yeah.
You done had to hire the record label. You hanging with the dudes from New York. Living life recklessly. You got a kid. You know what I'm saying? It's like you didn't even really have a real childhood to be real. You know what I'm saying?
No,
Like
yeah,
you, I mean, you got
yeah,
elementary, and then
yeah. And then after that, that's it.
yeah,
You know, and that was it. And so I think when I got older, man, I started wanting to relive some of those. Seemed like I missed out on a lot. You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? It felt like I missed out on a lot. And when I was supposed to be an adult, I'm actually a child.
Yeah,
You know what I
a child
mean?
doing adult
And,
things.
right, right. And so it wasn't good. You know what I mean? It wasn't good. But I gave my life to God. Now I think it's been like 5 years now.
Yeah.
It's only been like 5 years. Next month we'll make the 4 year anniversary of Rock Bottom. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
That it's actually been a LLC, an actual company, clothing apparel.
I want to play a little track, one of your tracks, and it kind of talks
Mhm.
about some of the things that you, or at least the mentality that you had through all of this. So
Right.
we're gonna play this right quick, and then we're gonna talk about it.
Right.
Do it like this. Now, who was I once? A young, arrogant chump. And to add a young, talented drum. Beaten up for lack of self-control. Deep is my reality song. So much baggage had to drop it and get over the hump. But before that, I was a contradiction. Even when I brainstormed, that was inconsistent. But all my addiction was a mental sickness. And I was ill for my action. There were consequences. I lost every.
Okay. So that part right there, like let's talk about that. So you said who was I once a young arrogant chump to add and to add a young talented drunk. Like young talented drunk meaning like you still functioning, you was drinking and still functioning.
Right.
Cause that's
Right.
what we
And
do.
still, yeah, and still trying to do stuff. Like I remember one time we were shooting a video. Matter of fact, that video that you probably saw when I was in the back of the bin,
Yeah.
the beam, I meant the Mercedes.
Chilling.
And right. And I they wouldn't let me drink until after the shoot. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Because they know how I was, when I
Oh,
started
okay.
drinking,
Okay.
and I couldn't. I would think I would be focused, but I was not focused. You know what I mean?
Uh,
So, but you know how when we get that alcohol, you get that alcohol in you, man. You got all the confidence in the world. You bold. You know what I mean? All reasoning goes out the window. You start running off at the mouth, and so I was super arrogant, man,
yeah.
because I'm thinking that I'm running with these guys, I'm doing this. Look at me, the videos. You know what I mean? And now I feel like like I said, I've arrived. So
Yeah.
you know just arrogant about, feeling like I'm actually moving forward. You know what I'm saying? The whole time I'm sinking. You know what I'm saying?
Not knowing it, not knowing it.
Cause
You think you moving
right,
forward, but
not even
really you
knowing it.
sinking. You're right. And then it
Right.
goes on to say, beaten up for lack of self control, deep is my reality. So much baggage had to drop it and get over the hump. But before I was a contradiction, even when I brainstormed, that was inconsistent. But all my addiction was a mental sickness, and I was ill from my actions, never consequences.
And there were
And there was
consequences. Yeah.
consequences. So it's like you even like at least then when you started rapping about it, you knew like whatever you was doing back then was kind of like a mental sickness. You know what I'm saying? Even though it
Right.
wasn't like you was diagnosed or nothing like that. It's like at least
Right.
at this point you starting to kind of figure it out. Like what was I doing, man? I'm like
Right.
just
I know I wasn't well. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Like I know I wasn't. I know I was so inconsistent. I was, as the word of God says, a double-minded man is unstable in all his ways.
exactly.
But before I knew that word, I definitely knew I was that. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? I was super unstable. You know what I mean? I couldn't. I got the DUI. I got lost my job. Um, man, it was just so much that was happening, and I knew it was because of my mentality, though. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
And I just was not good at all. My mind was not good. I didn't care about anything. You know what I mean? Some people like to say, man, you care about yourself, but if you cared about yourself, you wouldn't treat yourself the way you do. You know what I mean?
big facts, big
It,
facts.
and so, I didn't care, but I was so narcissistic and self-absorbed, you know what I mean? Like, but it was because I was like, I wasn't good.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
yeah.
saying?
Well, I mean, if you think about it, I mean, whoever showed you how to be good? You know what I'm saying?
I had some, yeah, I had actually, man, and this is the crazy thing is, Jason Bailey, the one who signed me the first time,
Yeah,
he was the first black man I seen to where he had his own, home, and he wasn't struggling. He had a job downtown Charlotte, in a big building. You know what I
yeah.
mean? I was looking out the window. He took me to his job one time, and that was the first time. He had a wife. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, dang boy, this is
This
real.
is
You know what I'm
it's a
saying?
different way of life.
Like, right. He living in a nice neighborhood. I'm like, wow, this is. So he kind of um was steering me into the right direction. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Because he knew there was a lot of things mentally, like a lot of things that were wrong with me too. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But he didn't give up on me, man, and he would just teach me, show me things. He would make me read certain literature and just stuff that when you coming from, like, no one showed me that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And no one showed me that. So he did steer me in the right direction, though.
So, like I say, we don't, you and I done talked about this on, a little bit, but I never asked you, have you ever talked to your family about like leaving you? I know when you got arrested, it didn't like that was their
Yeah,
choice to get arrested, but they technically
right,
they
right.
left you. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah,
you ever
yeah,
had that? You know what I'm saying? Because
yeah.
in black folk home we don't talk about stuff. We just get past it. At least
Right,
that's what we say anyway.
right. Yeah, we did. We did. We had that conversation though. And the conversation was pretty much, I didn't blame him for anything, but I told him what it did to me, you
Yeah.
know, and how it impacted me, like, my whole entire life. And so I think they were more so shocked though when I started telling them the things that how it affected me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
wow, I didn't, they were like, wow, like I thought you were good, you know what I mean? But, not saying that I would be good because they in jail, but when they got out and everything, like I didn't act like anything was wrong
I
with me.
got you. I got you.
You know what I'm saying? So it was like, wow, that I wouldn't have guessed that impacted you in such a way that you would react, respond to it in a way that would destroy you. You know what I mean? And that's pretty much how that happened. When everything seemed like it was going for the like going downhill, I don't know. I really gave up though, man. I gave up. I gave up, man. And I just was wondering like why my life had to be like that,
Yeah.
Like I just didn't know why me though. And
It was preparing
yeah,
you, and you didn't know.
for this.
Yeah, you didn't know then though, but it
Right,
was preparing you for what was
right,
to come. Because
right,
easily, I think about like we probably grew up in similar neighborhoods. My dad, he wasn't absent, but he wasn't full time either. So it was like he
right,
was somewhere here and
right,
there. And then,
right.
we grew up, I'm pretty sure you did, in neighborhoods where you walk down the street, dude be making a deal, you know what I'm saying, with
Yeah,
an addict, you know what
yeah,
I'm saying? Like, and then at least like my mom was there, and then I had older dudes in the neighborhood, coaches, things of that neighbor. Even what's funny is some of the older drug dealers, like me and my homeboy, some of the older drug dealers, they wouldn't let us get into no trouble. I'm like, you living it,
yeah.
you
That's
living this life,
yeah,
but you like, nah.
yeah,
Didn't your mama said you got to be home? With the street lights come on, you need to get home.
yeah. You like
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, how you gonna try to tell me what to do? But
yeah,
they wouldn't, and I
yeah,
mean, I'm thankful. I'm
yeah.
thankful for that though, because
Right, me too.
because like it easily you could have went down the same path that your family went down, and then there's no rock bottom. There's who knows if there's a Reggie Rocc, you might be doing a
Right,
bid right now.
right,
So
right. Real talk. Like so that's why I already know, man. Everything. That's why when the word of God, man, says that God makes all things work for the good. Of those who love Him, who have been called according to His purpose. You know what I'm saying? And so everything that has happened in my life was not to destroy me, but to bring me closer to Him, like for me to seek Him. You know what I'm
or
saying? So all the
to
issues,
seek Him and prepare you for what's to come, because
yeah,
what some people say, they'll look at you and they'll be like, okay, you got success now, but some non-believers, they'll be like, well, where was God when you was going through all this? You know what I'm saying? Where was
right.
God?
But see, that's what I was about to say. Like the thing is that when bad things happen, we automatically be like, "Dang God," you know what I mean?
Yeah,
But it's not Him. A lot of things it has to happen to you. You know what I mean?
yeah.
In order for you to turn around. You know what I'm saying? Like you keep touching the stove, you're gonna keep on getting burned. You know what I mean? While it's on, you know what I'm
Real
saying?
talk. I mean, you have to be prepared for certain things because you might
Right,
not be ready to receive it. Like initially, your first deal, you wasn't ready for that life. You know what I'm saying? But you didn't
right.
know
No,
that, so he had to allow things to happen. You know what I'm saying? Because we still have free will. You know what I'm saying? Like he ain't forcing our hand. He just said we still got free
right,
will,
right,
and you
right.
just needed to go down that path regardless of how long it took to get you ready for where you at now. I mean, and I kind of mentioned the same, for me to find out about you, because I told you, coaching AAU youth basketball. I swear, every tournament we went to, though, somebody was trying to pass me a CD. Like that's that could. I swear, like, especially you go to North Augusta, Georgia, man, North Augusta, South Carolina, man. I swear, we go to the gas station, be out there, like, hey, brother, hey, man, won't you get this CD from me? Yeah, yeah.
CD.
Won't you get this CD from me? Then when you take it, well, help the cause. It ain't no price, man. Just help the cause. It could be like $10, and I'm like, at that point, I had
And
to,
then they don't wrote on it. They don't wrote on the CD,
bruh.
the
I
album,
got so
with
many
a Sharpie.
because when I first started doing it, I took one of them CDs, bought it.
Right.
I listened to it. I'm like, man, this is some trash. You know what I'm saying? I'm listening to it and I'm like, I'm not gonna be wasting my time doing that. Like, I get it. I get it. You got to do the hustle. You ain't gonna jump right into being, on Rockefeller or nothing like that. But it's like I got tired of that, and so when
Right.
it came to, like I said, I'd always seen you at work, but I didn't really know who you was. And then my brother
Right.
invited me to a Facebook group. It was Christian music. It was some kind of Christian music Facebook group, and so I'm thinking, okay, I always like to find out about new music that I don't know about, new artists or whatever. So if you had a came up to me before like that group, yeah, that CD would have been trashed. Like I would have just took it and say, yeah, dog, and then I just throw it in. I went back in my office and I went back in the office and threw it away.
Here we go with this rapping stuff.
Everybody's a
You know what I
rapper
mean?
these days. You know what I'm saying?
Everybody's
I even got players that I used to coach. Some of them rap and they successful. Some of them everybody's a rapper. So I'm in this Facebook group and then I see you posting videos, but I never listen to them. And I'm like, God, why is it? This is a music group. Why is this dude always talking? Like he always. Like he always talking, like he always giving a word of the day. I'm in here for some music. And then I think one day you like shared one of your videos that you had on your rock bottom page or something, and I was like, all right, let me listen to it. And I think it was dope. The song dope. So it might
okay.
have been that. And then I was like, okay, I'm going to listen to this. So I listened to it, and then I went to Apple Music, man, and I was like, man, dude got skills, man. At first he was this dude had a little talent. All right, I can listen to this. Then I was like, man, he is for like this is for real. You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
that brought me to the question. I think I asked you one time, like, man, why you still work at Zia? Cause hey, you already done told me, dog. Like, you know what I'm saying? We ain't divulging no numbers, but you don't have to.
Yeah, yeah. But I think it keeps me grounded
I
though.
got you.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It really does. Like I don't see it as a super bad thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it really does keep me grounded because I don't go around telling people I'm Reggie Rocc, I have a clothing
Yeah.
apparel. Um, I performed at the Bon Secure Arena at in Vegas. That I have music on the radio. I ain't running around telling nobody none of that. You know what I
Stellar
mean?
Award nominee. Shameless plug.
Yeah, two times.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Black History Maker 107.3 J. I ain't running around telling them nothing. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? It's just that part. It keeps me super grounded, man.
No, that's what's up, man. So since you gave your life to God, what's that freedom or relief? Is that like a freedom or relief, knowing the kind of life you was coming from? Like, is that how does that, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because it I think it more so allowed me to see that I don't have to be like that
I got you.
to have a life. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like what we say, man. I'm just living life.
always,
Like
always.
that is not life. You know what I mean? That is not a life. So coming to God allowed me to have, I had an advocate. Now I have someone. Um, I don't have to just talk to myself. I can go into prayer. I know God saved my life. You know what I'm saying? So now, I'm his child. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
And now it's like I'm like, wow, I can who died for me, I can communicate. You know what I'm saying? And that's like the biggest relief. You know what I mean? Even if I'm not saying I'm saying here perfect or whatever, like I haven't drinking anything, but what I'm saying is that I don't necessarily have to do that.
got you.
You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? Because what it was, it turned to more like, we're overindulging other things because we want to escape something or we're trying to feel some type of void. You know what I'm saying?
I got you.
And now, God is my, is the void filler. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, so it's a big relief,
That's,
huge relief.
so okay, so you know, of course, when you younger, it's easier to fall into the I got a record deal. You know, I'm doing this. I can do this. I'm hanging with these guys from New York. We can go wherever we want, getting in the front of the line at the
Right,
club. So you having success in a different way now, but even more success than you had
right,
then.
even
You
more.
know what I'm saying? Even more. Like I said, to two-time Stella Award, and then one of those
Right.
was in Vegas.
Yeah, yeah.
So,
No, both of them
oh, both
in
of them was
Vegas.
in Vegas. Okay, okay.
Yeah.
So, I mean, what's your support system like, or like how you know what I'm saying? It's always temptation out there, you know, like, and not even just temptation for like booze or drugs or girls or whatever. It could be temptation to get the big head, the arrogance.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Pride comes before the fall.
Yeah.
Once you think, like I said, once you think you fully arrived, that's when life will show you otherwise. You know what I'm saying?
Bring you down real quick.
Yeah, baby. You know what I mean? And I've had my share of those my highs and lows. So I know that nothing is good always, but
Okay.
it doesn't last always either. I just truly think that you like you said, God had to prepare, and I go through those things in life. So now that He can trust me with the what He has um with what He's given me,
Yeah.
you know what I
Yeah.
mean, and allow me to be a steward over rock bottom, you know what I mean, and the ministry that he has given me, you know what I'm saying, and He can trust me with it now.
Said your daughter turning 18. Any of this knowledge you trying
Yeah,
to give to
yeah,
her so that she don't like, not that she in the record business or anything like that, but just little stuff so that, like I said, mentally, I
right,
I think we don't even like talking about, like, if we do talk about anything mental, it's after something bad happened. You know what I'm saying?
right.
But like, is there anything you trying to tell your kids, like, while it's good, so that they don't have, you know, any doubt about
Yeah,
themselves, or be too confident about
right. And
themselves?
but yeah, I most definitely tell my daughter, I started early on her with letting her know she don't have to follow the in crowd.
I tell my
She
son that
doesn't.
all the time.
You don't have to be like, but I. That's what I tried to do. You know what I mean? So I saw where it put me, and I seen the people who, um, the women who wanted to follow the in crowd or be like everybody else. I mean, you see that now. You know what I mean? So that was one thing. That was one thing I was big on, man. Is that you don't have to do what everybody else is doing. You know what I
I
mean? It's okay to have the unpopular opinion. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I tell my son
And
all the time, if you say it's cool, then it's cool. You don't have to wait for somebody else to tell you it's cool. Like,
right,
if you
right,
think wearing mismatched socks is cool, wear mismatched socks, though. Like, it don't even matter about what nobody else says is cool, man. You
no,
know, it's just
not at all.
because it's different though. I feel like there's a lot more. At least it seems like, maybe because we got more access to information. It just seems like today a lot of the younger kids are going through a lot more, and then you see a lot of these. I mean, you see middle schoolers killing themselves though. Like,
Right,
I'm
right,
like, we was out in the, even though, like we said earlier, some of the older people in the game wouldn't let us get in the game. We still was out. We saw that. We was interacting. It was just a different time. We came up a lot. I think we had to be stronger mentally a lot younger. You know
right,
what I'm saying? And it's like, now the younger crowd, they so sheltered, because it's hard not to shelter your kid because you want to give them what you didn't have. But it's a fine line, because if you shelter them too much, now they don't feel no adversity, which
right,
adversity prepares you for the crazy stuff. So now you
right,
see people on social media, like you said, like falling into the in crowd or trying to do whatever the other people doing. Everybody want to be an Instagram model. Everybody, I don't know, man. It's just crazy like that, and I think it's so
yeah,
much
yeah,
harder. So because you got an 18-year-old, that's your only child.
yeah. That's my own. Yeah,
Okay, so I got a 25-year-old, and then I got
Okay.
a 9-year-old, and the 9-year-old is
Hmm.
like, that's what I'm saying. Like, cause of COVID, he ain't in school. He
Right.
virtual school, but like we getting him back in school next year, just
Okay.
solely because of social and mental development. Like, because I'm like, kids got to be around kids. Kids need to be around in social environments so that they can go through,
Right.
adversity. Like, what if they don't
Right.
pick you for the basketball team? What you gonna do? What if they playing on on the blacktop and you don't
Right. All
like,
right.
nah, dog, we ain't got to hit scrub. Like, what you
Right. You gotta be able to handle those disappointing moments. You know what I
yeah,
mean? Instead of waiting till you get old and you can't take
rejection
you can't
or
take rejection. Right.
whatever.
Right.
And I think that lends to why you see so many, I ain't even
Right.
gonna say not just suicides, but like people like, whatever the opioid pen, whatever you want to call it, the addictions and
Right.
crisis or whatever, because people turn into, it's either one or two things. They either turn into it because they see everybody else do it, because they're not mentally strong enough to say no, or
Right.
what I'm saying, they got rejected somehow, some way, from a girl, from a
Hmm.
job, from a
Hmm.
team, from a whatever, from friends, and now
Right.
they out
Right.
here about to go down the wrong path. You know what I'm saying? It's like,
Hmm.
instead of making the choice, like I told my daughter when she was in high school, I don't want you to smoke weed. But if you ever do anything, whether it's smoking weed or something that you shouldn't be doing, do it because you want to do it. Don't do it because somebody said it was cool or somebody made you do it. Don't tell me what everybody else is doing it. Because
Right.
if you did it because you want to do it, now we can deal with that.
Right.
But if you looking to
Right.
other people, what we gonna do about? I
Right.
don't even know what to do about that, because man,
Right.
I,
Yeah.
I can't lock you up. You
Right.
know what I'm saying?
Right.
So it's like, I don't know. Like, for me, I didn't drink until I was 21, and it wasn't because I ain't had no chances. Like, my mama told me a story. She's like, when I was in high school, she's like, I got drunk one time, and she told me how bad she felt or whatever. It kind of scared me, so I was like, yeah,
Right.
I don't want to drink that.
Yeah. 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 Hey. Yeah, because I wasn't pressured to do it either. You know
Yeah,
what I'm saying?
yeah.
I wasn't pressured.
It seemed cool.
It did. It seemed like it was all right. You know what I'm
Why?
saying? I
Why
mean,
is that? Why is that? Why do we feel like we need, like, me and you? We'll chop it up. We'll be on the floor, cutting up, having a good time. So why is
mhm.
it we feel like we have to indulge in substances to make us feel even better? Like, I mean, you know what I'm saying? It ain't like we partying on the floor, but
And the truth is, you don't. I don't. I can't. I can't. I think it's just that flesh part of you. It's just that part of you that something is just never enough. You know what I'm saying? Like being sober is just not enough. There has to be another type of excitement that I can add on top of this. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, it's like you always
Yes,
want more. That's what that was
more,
our problem.
more.
We always want more, no matter what it is. We want more.
We're not content
Like,
at all.
they sending
You know
they
what I'm
sending
saying?
out the stimulus. We want another one.
I want what are other 600 at? You know what I mean? Like,
Wait, what you mean to cut off 75,000? Like, you should give it to everybody.
take that,
Like,
man. Look,
you making 150,000, you want 1,400. That's what you want. You want 1,400. Oh, okay. But that's us, though, man. I don't know why we want more. We want more. We want more. It doesn't matter what it is. Like, no, you
I
remember?
just want more.
You remember? I try to be thankful for everything I get, man. I try to watch
Right.
about complaining. So you remember, it was about 3 years ago at work. For Christmas, they gave us points. Like, they didn't give out. They
Yeah.
gave us points that you could use on a certain website to get you some stuff. You talking about
Right.
an outrage? Like, people was taking the points back to HR, saying, "What are you doing?" Like, just complaining. I'm like, you do know the job does not have to give you a Christmas bonus.
Anything.
People
Anything.
complain about the free hams they give us. Why they ain't giving us Butterball? I'm like, it's a free ham. something that's free.
It's never nothing is ever never enough. It's never enough. It's never satisfying, man.
Oh my!
That's it's never satisfying, man.
I think that's that. I don't know, and I guess of course, cause we black. I see it a lot in the black, community. It's like we ain't never happy. We
Right.
ain't never happy with nothing. Like what I'm saying. Like they wanna. Okay, well, why you didn't come out with a gold hat with the black RB? You know what I'm saying? Like, well, don't buy the hat.
Like,
I'm pretty sure you
but
get some.
man,
I'm pretty sure you get some of that. Like, what I'm saying? Like, why you didn't come up with this shirt or this idea or why you launch on that day or this day. How you handle that?
and I'm gonna
How
tell
you
you,
handle that?
man,
Because I know
we had
How,
we had I remember one of the first line of shirts we were doing. Like I said, they had the big logo, and then motivation starts here at the bottom of the logo.
yeah.
So we had, I think one point in time we had, man, I want to say at least 17 different colors. You know what I'm saying?
That's changed.
Real
That's
talk.
changed a lot.
Woo. But out of those 17, somebody be like, well, you ain't got the what you call it. I was like,
What happened to the royal blue? Don't nobody want navy and aqua. What happened to the royal blue?
you'd be like, you know what, man? I don't even want to keep going through this, man. I don't even want you to get no shirt after that. You know, like,
No, you know what? I don't even want you to buy a rock bottom, even if you like it.
if not one of them satisfied you at all, I'm talking about that you would even say, I got some shoes that'll go with that black,
Yeah.
or that yellow you got, or that turquoise one you got, or that purple one you got, or that gold one you got,
So I'm assuming once you realize after them 17 colors, you can't please everybody. So you might as well not come out with 17. You might as well just pick a core, come out with the core.
There you go. You'll save yourself a headache, bro.
Because you can't please everybody, dog. It's always gonna be something. You know what I'm saying? So
no matter what, it's never enough.
Your family be giving you a hard time? Not really.
Not now, because like I said, we used to have so many different colors, so they would used to be like, man, you think you can get me a black RB shirt, but I want the R to be pink, and
The B.
Can you make the little arrow on the B? Like make that arrow like a different color, but you know what I'm saying?
Like you do know that's a logo, right? Like it needs to be the same color.
I'm not doing that.
They have no concept of how artwork works or anything. It's like you can just hit the button.
And they just think I'm changing it. Like I
Oh man, to close up, man. Hey, so what kind of advice would you give your younger self and or like just like young black men that might be coming up, coming through, some hard times at 18 to 25 or even older, to be honest? Like what kind of advice, like from your past experiences or knowledge, would you give to them?
It's okay to be you. It's okay. Because I think overall what the issue was identity. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Yeah, that's the overall foundation. That's the overall issue. Is because if you knew who you were and who you belong to, and why you're here and what you're capable of doing and being, and then some of the decisions, man, I wouldn't say everything would be perfect, but you'll be able to limit some of those bad decisions, because like if I knew, like say that I was gonna, God would allow me to be successful now, then if I knew that, then I probably wouldn't have done a whole lot of stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
You know, like if I knew early on in my life who I was, I probably wouldn't have made a whole lot of decisions that I made. And I strongly would say it's okay to be you. Um, and it's okay to make mistakes. It's okay to fall. You know what I'm
Exactly.
saying?
Exactly.
But it's okay. But get up. You know what I mean? Each and every single day that God is allowing you to breathe is an opportunity to get better, and it's an opportunity to change. Don't ever let somebody tell you that one era in your life is the end of the chapter, or is the end of the book. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like some people only know how to keep you somewhere. You know what I mean? Because they don't know how to walk with you. You know what I'm saying? Like if the overall thing for me is to say I'm willing to go through this with you, go through life with you, go through your struggles with you, then I know that I can get better. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And you know what I'm saying? I can get better, and it's always as long as you are breathing, that's you got time.
You got time.
As long as you're breathing, you got time. And don't let nobody tell you otherwise, man. And God truly loves you. He loves you when you don't even love him. Um, he is merciful. You know, he is gracious. Um, and he is overall love, man. And whether you want to acknowledge that or not, it doesn't change the fact.
That's what's up, man.
But the sooner you realize that, I think you could be on a path, an upward path. You know what I mean? Upward. You could be going upward instead of going. I would rather be going through things as I'm moving forward, rather than not trying or not making an effort
Yeah.
and falling still. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Like I want to make those errors, but still moving forward, man. And it's okay. Life isn't perfect. We aren't perfect. God is. So keep going.
And with that said, I say don't be scared to talk to somebody. Like whether it's a
Yes,
brother, a
absolutely.
friend, find somebody, even if they ain't responding, just somebody that can hear you out. You know what I'm
Right,
saying?
right,
Because so many
right,
people have things that's on their mind or on their heart that they don't get out. And God will listen to you if ain't nobody else gonna listen to you.
right,
But if you need
right,
somebody in physical form, don't be scared to seek somebody out,
right.
whoever it may
Yeah,
be.
definitely find an accountability partner, man.
For
You
real.
know, yeah, I totally agree.
So we appreciate you, man. Appreciate for Rock Bottom, Reggie Rocc. We appreciate you joining one of the local dudes on Guys Down the Street. Hopefully,
Yes,
we'll
sir.
bring them back later to talk some music, some in-depth music and clothing things
Yeah, yeah,
and
yeah, yeah.
things what's on the horizon. So we out of here.
Right.
Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe.
We don't got this gon' eat. See right here we talk fast. It's real talk we gon' speak. See right here we talk fast. It's real talk we gon' speak. We don't guys on the street. We don't guys on the street. We don't guys that's gon' eat. We don't guys that's gon' eat. See right here we talk fast. It's real talk we gon' speak. See right here we talk fast. It's real talk we gon' speak.